This is our demo web API project. Currently, this is empty because there is no controller code or repository and service code. We have only models inside this demo.api project. Based on these models, we will create our code through our tool. Currently, you can see we have some sample models like department, employee, and all these models have some constraints or validators like min length, required, max length, kind of that. So based on these validators or constraints, our appropriate Angular code will get generated and the validators in Angular will get created. We have to compile this project so that we can get the DLL file, and we can mention the path of that DLL file here. We have to select the model.dll because our all the models inside the demo.model.dll. Okay, so we will select that file. Also, we have to specify the output folder where all the code will get generated. So we will choose any folder. I have choose this one. Once the code gets generated, it will place the Angular and web API code here. Tool have created the code. So once the tool has created the code, we will copy paste the code inside the project. So we paste the Angular code inside the Angular project, inside the models. Inside the modules, we paste the post login module. Now we'll copy the side menu code and go to the Angular project, and there we have already a side menu component which is outside post login. So we will paste that code there, and now we have to compile the project or run the project so that we can use it, right? So we just give the ngserve command in order to run the Angular project. Now it's a time to merge the code inside the web API. So we will go to the POC project where we generated our code and copy all that code inside our web API project. So currently we don't have any code for services or repository, and there is no controller or mapping code. We will go inside the POC folder and copy the API code, paste that code inside our project, web API project. Now our web API project is ready. We can compile that, or after the compilation, our task is to create the database, because currently we don't have appropriate database for this project. Meanwhile our Angular is also get compiled and running. We will go to the NuGet package manager, and to the console window we have to give the entity framework migration command to generate the database. From models, entity framework automatically create the database tables with all the constraints like primary key and foreign key constraints. All those will be get generated based on our models. So now we have to update the database so that it will write the table inside the database with the command update -database. In few seconds, based on number of model, it will generate the database. We can refresh it. It created the database with the name demo web API, and we can see the tables under it. Now we will run our web API. We have to run our demo.web API project. It's built in Swagger, so we can see this screen. Now our Angular project is also running because we already give the command of ngserve. We have to open the Angular project inside the browser. Let's open a new window for Chrome. We will go to the local host 4200 address. Yeah, it's running. So we will start from the country management screen. Currently we don't have any kind of data because we just create the fresh database. We can add a country name India based on our given model which we define in the web API. It put the constraints of like required field validator there. Under the country we can have multiple states, so there are two ways to add a state. First, from the country screen we can add the state inside a particular country. It created the screen automatically with the tabs because we have defined the one-to-many relationship, so based on those it will create the tabs appropriately. If the relationship is many to many, then the tabs will be get generated for both the screens. Under state we can have multiple cities, so we can add the cities as well. Same way we can add the cities from state screen. Based on the particular selected state we can add the city inside the state, and if we go to the city management then we have to select the state for which we want to add the city. These cascading drop downs are working fine. Like if we select the India, so it will appropriately download the states for India only. So code will get generated in such a way so that the cascading drop downs also get placed in a correct format and they will work. We have address management screen as well, and there are some constraints which we defined in our model class. Length related constraints are there, required field validator are there. And for city we have cascading country, states and city drop downs. We given the employee object also there, employee property also there, and that was not required, so that's why there is no required field validator on employee. You can add an address without employee. It totally based on our models, how we created our models. Based on that our screen will be get generated. If we go inside the departments, here we can add multiple departments, and then we will add employees and link the employee and departments with each other. Inside information technology department there is no employee, so there is a way inside the department management screen as well that we can add an employee inside a given department. So this add employee screen is sharing the same code whether you adding an employee from the department screen or from the employee management screen. Whatever the constraints you have defined, they will work here. Same form, you can say that shared between the department and employee. We are using the smart and dumb component concept while generating the Angular code. It's just a Chrome warning for the weak password. So in the employee, if we go inside employee, we can have employee can have multiple address and can be linked to multiple departments. So currently it's showing only those departments which were linked. If we click on the non-linked, we can link that department, and now it will show under the linked departments. So in such a way we can link or delink a department from the employee. Similarly for address, we can assign a employee inside the address management screen as well, or if we go to the employee screen, we can also create a new address for this particular employee from here as well. screens get generated in such a way because we have defined the relationship. Based on relationship, it will show the screen. Like if there is a many to many relationship, so it will show the radio buttons so that we can link and delink, and tabs will also get show there, right? For address, we don't have link and delink because it's not a many to many. For department we have, right? So you can see we can view the employee details as well. We can search screen will not have any constraints because we don't need any required field validators or constraints there, right? We can exit the search, then we can see all the data. Sorting also working. This sorting will make a call for API. It's not local sorting. Sorting is with the API call. So that's it. Thanks.